This full moon is a supermoon, the brightest moon and closest to Earth we'll see all year. Everything is amplified, those being emotions, clarity, the stakes, and this lunation illuminates with force. And what it's revealing is where you've been building and where the foundation is starting to crack. Taurus wants security, the comfort of knowing what's solid and what you can count on. But the sun sits across in Scorpio asking a different question. What are you still holding on to that's already dead? This month becomes a confrontation between staying and leaving, between what feels safe and what's actually sustainable. The full moon is exalted here in its power, but power doesn't always feel gentle. Sometimes it feels like a reckoning. Now, cards out we have Etching of Jewels, the Moon, Child of Jewels, and at the bottom of the deck we have Time. What's being etched into focus is your relationship with value. Not just money, but the slow, meticulous work you've been doing to build something that lasts. You've been carving out a life, a sense of worth, and a place to stand. Now you're being shown exactly where that effort has been taking root, and where you've been pouring energy into soil that won't hold. Now, Mars opposes Uranus on this lunation, so expect disruption. Sudden shifts in income, plans that fall through, and conversations that escalate. The ground underneath you may shift, especially around finances, resources, or anything you thought was stable. And Uranus re-enters Taurus on November 9th, and this brings in another wave of unpredictability. So, if something has been teetering, it's about to tip. And the deeper message is to let go of the illusion, not the dream, the illusion. That false security built on denial, avoidance, or fear. There's a powerful release available this month, but only if you're willing to name what you've been afraid to see. That could be a job draining you, the relationship that looks good on paper but leaves you feeling empty, or a financial pattern you keep repeating because it's familiar. Now is the time to stop pretending. And what happens when the fog clears? When you stop telling yourself the story that keeps you comfortable and start looking at what's real. You're being asked to approach your resources, your skills, your sense of value with fresh eyes, not from scratch, but from honesty. What do you actually have? What do you actually need? And what can that be built on that isn't based on fear of losing it? This is a month to get granular. Look at your bank account, your schedule, your commitments, and ask, is this supporting the life I'm trying to create, or is this just keeping me busy? Taurus doesn't do well with waste. Right now, waste includes anything that takes up space without adding value. Your time, your attention, your emotional bandwidth. If it's not feeding you, it's feeding on you. And underneath all of this is the pull of time. Cycles are turning whether you're ready or not. This isn't a month where you can pause and wait for clarity. The wheel is already moving. What you do with this full moon energy will shape what comes next through the end of the year and into next year. The question isn't whether change is coming, it's whether you're going to meet it with resistance or with readiness. Not everything can come with you. Some things have served their purpose, and some foundations need to be torn down so you can rebuild on ground that's actually solid. This is uncomfortable work, but it's necessary work. The moon is exalted here, which means you're supported, but only if you're honest. This month, watch what gets revealed in your relationships, your finances, and sense of stability. Pay attention to what feels like disruption and ask if it's actually redirection. Notice where you've been clinging to comfort instead of cultivating security. There's a difference. Comfort keeps you in place. Security allows you to grow. The path forward isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to work with what's real even when it's messy. It's about trusting that you have the skills, curiosity, and resilience to build something new, even if you have to start smaller than expected. Even if you have to release the version of yourself that needed certainty before you could move. The brightest moon of this year is shining directly on what matters most. Don't look away.